Hello everyone and welcome to part 3. I hope you found part 2 okay. So in this video we're going to be dealing with 3 sections. We're going to be dealing with first, second and third class seating areas, as well as a crew room at the front. It's not going to be anything too difficult. Like I said, at the front of the ship there's not a lot of space to play with. That's why I said maybe if you wanted to you could push the bulkhead back a little bit at the front, but if you do decide to do that, that staircase needs to be exactly where it is now. You can't move that because that is part of that over there. So if you do push that bulkhead back, don't move the stairs. So we'll start at the front here. You want a block there, one there, then 2, then 1, then another 2 there, 1 there, and then on this black bit here you want a block, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there, and then 2 backwards. So 6 and then 2, and then next to that you want 3 stairs going up, and 1 to the right and 2 forward, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 there. And in front of this black block here you want 2, and then 3 to the right, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then 1 to the right, and 1 to the left, and then doorway, and then 2 there. And that's basically the whole thing mapped out there. You'll only have room for a couple of beds and a couple of chests, really. That's why I said if you wanted more room you could push the bulkhead back a little bit, but you'll sacrifice a little bit of the first class seating area if you do that. But there's only benches in there anyway, really. So this is going to be a bit of a bathroom, so like in the Titanic, just used a step for a toilet. And then you can have a sink in there. And then it's just a case of placing a couple of beds and a couple of chests, really. Not a lot of room, like I said. I mean, obviously in reality there would have been more space than this, I would imagine, at the front of the ship, because there would have had to be, you know, places for the crew to sleep and stuff. We're just within Minecraft and the size of the ship, we just don't have a lot of room. That's why I've said you can get away with pushing that bulkhead back. But that's optional, you can just keep it as I've got it if you like. So there's nothing overly special going on in here, just a couple of beds and a couple of chests, and then a bit of lighting, and you're pretty much all done after you've brought your walls up. Probably a good idea to bring your walls up first before you start putting things in. You know, it's entirely up to you exactly how you have this bit. So when it comes to the seating areas that we're going to do, I think on the deck plans it was showing that there was like overhead like shelving kind of things, you know, where you could put like bags and suitcases and stuff, whatever they had back then. But because the blocks are only too high within this ship, I couldn't really get that in. On the Titanic we had more room to play with, we had 4 high walls, so I would have been able to put something like that in, but unfortunately not on this ship. So this is going to be the first class area. So what you're going to do, you're just going to wall off all the way around. It's quite simple. And we'll put windows in as well, which is something I actually didn't do on my original ship. I forgot to put the windows in this bit. But you're just following the shape around. It's really easy. Okay, so you should have that. We'll start with the walling up, and then we'll put the windows in. I probably should have counted those in first. So 3 block gap and then 1. I'll get round to the windows eventually. But generally I put 1 and then there's a 3 gap and then 1 for the most part. 3 gaps and then 1. So it's pretty much like that all the way around. If you want to put windows in, they're not historically accurate to the real ship, so you can just pretty much do what you want with the windows. If you want to try and make them accurate to the real ship, that's up to you. It's just the same on this side. There's usually a 3 gap between the windows. So that's the walls dealt with. Okay, so we'll deal with this staircase next. So you come to this left corner facing the back of the ship. On the 5th block to the right, place 1 there, and then 1 in front of it. And 3 to the right. And then going that way, you want 3 steps up. So towards the left of the ship, facing the back. Okay, so now we're going to deal with the benches. You can choose the same blocks as me, or you can choose your own. It's entirely up to you. So from this point here, on the 11th block, place 1 there. And then place an additional 7. And you're going to grab what you're going to use for your benches. And just put them all down the side there. And on the ends of them you can put a trapdoor, just to make them look a bit more bench-like. Okay. You just grab a fence piece. Probably best to choose the same colour that you've used for that middle bit. And that will connect to the ceiling when we put it in. So that's that middle bit. And as for the benches and all that sort of thing, it's pretty random really. You can place them in yourself, or you can follow what I'm doing. So usually I just put benches in there, and then some of them have a table in front, not all of them. So you can use your own imagination on this bit if you like. I did kind of follow the deck plans with them, so I've got them as close as I could do really, but some of them are a bit randomly placed. And not every bench has got a table in front of it. But make sure you leave at least 2 blocks in between the benches, or else you won't be able to get your trapdoors on the side. So you'll find that this is pretty much what we're going to be doing near enough on the entire ship. I mean, on the next deck up I think there is a little bit more to it than just benches, but not much more. There's a couple of rooms, you know, there's a captain's room and stuff like that, but for the most part it will be doing this. So I think on either part 1 or part 2, I've had a couple of comments with people, someone saying, could you build the Carpathia next? I still haven't found deck plans for those, but then I haven't been looking just yet. I will have another look for them, but I think last time I looked I couldn't find any. Obviously I can only do it if I can find deck plans, but I would love to do the Carpathia, of course. So I will try to find some, but I can't promise anything. And then someone said about doing the Poseidon. The thing is with that, it's a fictional ship, so I'm not sure deck plans would even exist for that. It'd be great to do the Poseidon. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. If deck plans don't exist for it, then I can't do it, because it doesn't show the entire ship on the films, does it? So I couldn't possibly know where everything is, unless I just completely made it up. I mean, I suppose maybe I could do that. I could maybe just make it up as I went along. But I don't know if people would be up for that, if you just want to do real ships or not. But yeah, so there are a couple of suggestions that I've had, which I would like to do. I just don't know if it's possible. So as you can see, every now and again I've been putting an upside down step with a lantern. You could always do that for something a bit different in the room. But generally the benches are just all around the room with a 2-block gap for the most part. Some of them have tables, some of them don't. And then you can put a couple of benches and tables and stuff like that in the middle as well. I think because this ship still exists, I think it's in Belfast. And I watched a couple of people's videos that have actually gone on it and filmed while they were on it. I am pretty sure there was a bar in there somewhere, but I couldn't see them on the deck plans that I had. I couldn't see the bar. So whether it would be in this area or the deck above, I'm not too sure. I didn't include a bar on this ship, quite frankly, because I didn't know where it was. So I don't know if you want to put a bar in yourself, if you know which deck it's actually on and which room it's in. But I think, yeah, there was one on the ship, I just didn't include it because I didn't know where it was. I just want to clear the air on that one before someone mentions that that's missing. So yeah, going forward, I will always obviously be up for suggestions, and I will look into, you know, doing ships that people have mentioned in the comments and stuff. But going forward, I am only going to take on a ship that I have very clear deck plans for, because I struggled with this one more than I should have done, to be honest. Because, you know, only being able to find the French deck plans and them not being massively clear, you know, it's made it really hard work to do a ship that should have been so quick to do. So I'm going to have to research deck plans from now on. So that's first class seating area dealt with. Like I said, there could have been a bar in there, I'm not too sure. But you can just put a sign near the stairs somewhere saying first class passengers, and then we'll move on to the next section. So there is slightly more to this one, but not much more. But it's generally going to be the same again, for the most part filled with benches. But there's second and third class in this bit, separated by a wall. And we'll crack on with that bit now. So the first thing to do is to come right to the back here. And on this black bit that you can see there, you want to place wall down. So it should be 5 pieces. Then one forward there, a gap, one there, and then a gap there, and then 2 there. And they're going to be lifeboat locker. That's what was showing on the deck plans. So I don't know if there were the life belts in there or whatever. And then you're just going to follow the shape of the ship round, all the way around. And when you get to this bulkhead, we'll put a ladder in as well. That's to get down to the engine room. So from the left, facing the front, the 6th block, just leave a gap for a ladder to go down. So that leads all into your engines and your propellers and stuff. And then to the left there, you're going to put 3 blocks, a gap to the right for a door, and then 3 to the right, and then 2 up there. This wasn't actually included in my original. It was only afterwards I realised I'd given no access to the engine room downstairs, so I just had to quickly put that in. It wasn't on the deck plans, I'm not actually sure how they got down to the engine room, in all honesty. So next, come to the back, and the block in front of it, you're going to want to count forward. 7, and then place a block. You want 3 to the left, and then 3 to the right. 2 forward, 2 back, and then 3 there, and then 1 there. And this wall, odds on you already have in if you've built Rich LaRusso's ship in its entirety, because this wall should be this wall over here on the finished one. So there's a good chance you've already got this one in. So that's that bit there. Obviously just lower down into the lower deck. He does show you how to put that bit in, so there's a good chance you do have that already. So from your doorway there, I'm going to go forward. On the 6th block, place 1 down, 2 to the left, and then 7 to connect it up to the wall there. And come back to this corner, 4 forward, 5 left, 2 up, 4 right, 3 back, and then to the left of that you want 3 stairs there. They're going to go upwards. So this is the second class part of it, and this is how they're going to get down. And this is the third class seating area. That's the layout covered. So we'll bring the walls up. And then it's going to be, like I said, the same thing. Benches. I wish I would have had room to include the overhead like storage bits, but as you can see, there would have been absolutely no way for me to put that in. The windows, they're spaced apart by 3 blocks, but it's up to you if you want to do them slightly different. So same on this side, the windows are like 3 apart. I don't know if you can hear Ball and Chain coughing in the background. She's still got that cough. So she can't be in any of these. I'll probably be finished with the entire tutorial by the time she's got rid of that. She's had it since Boxing Day is when she came down with it. She's getting better. So I'm just going to finish bringing up these walls now. And you can bring these stairs up as well. So they're going to be 3 high. And that's how the second class passengers will get down to their seating area. We'll pop a sign on the wall. And maybe on this bit you could place 3rd class passengers. Yeah, and obviously there's going to be a door there as well, which you may already have in. And obviously you're going to want to put a door to the ladder as well, that leads down to the engine room. And just make sure you put a sign on there that says crew only. In here, it's the same thing, benches and tables. It's a bit of a weird shape, so you might struggle to get, you know, nice looking benches in there. I mean, that doesn't look overly great, but not really a lot of room to play with. Obviously with it being 3rd class, it's not as spacious as 1st and 2nd. We're pretty much just randomly placed. Like I said, not every bench had a table in front of it. And then this corner, I just put like a bit of a sofa, just to fill up the space a little bit. Or you could have single tables in there, it's up to you. You can place those all over as well. Or you could just attach your lanterns to the ceiling, it's up to you. So yeah, this ship is an absolute breeze compared to the Titanic. It's actually quite nice to have an easy tutorial for a change. So that is third class, pretty much. Decided to put a lantern there. So yeah, put your lighting in and that's all dealt with. So moving on to second class now. Same thing, just randomly placed benches. So when I'm in between uploads, you know, like when I finish this ship for example, obviously I'll be working on another ship, but in the meantime I've got nothing to upload to my channel. And I did notice that when I was constantly uploading the Titanic tutorial, my sub count was going up steadily, my watch time and all that sort of thing was doing great. I mean, I've absolutely smashed the 4,000 hours of watch time to you know, to get your channel monetized and stuff like that. You need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs. Well, I've smashed the hours, so that's how well the Titanic's done, because before that I was at less than 1,000. So I don't want my channel going long periods of time without any uploads and stuff like that. So I probably will upload footage from different games, because I do enjoy other games other than Minecraft. So I hope you don't mind that I will be uploading different games and stuff like that in between ships. But that's just to keep my channel ticking over in the meantime, because the next ship I'm not sure what it's going to be. It could be another small one, it could be a slightly bigger one, but obviously I'm going to need time to do the next ship, and I just don't want my channel slowing down in between that. So I'm not sure like what games exactly. In March, Resident Evil 4 Remake has come out and I have pre-ordered it already, so I was thinking maybe playing that for the first time, maybe recording it while I'm playing it, so that might be good, because I absolutely love the original one. Can't fault that at all. So obviously I've pre-ordered the remake and I'm looking forward to playing that. So it'd be nice to upload something like that for a bit of a change. So yeah, I hope you don't mind a little bit of different content now and again. Obviously the main focus for my channel is Minecraft. So I just don't want people thinking that I'm coming away from Minecraft just because a different game's being uploaded. So that is that. I've decided to come down and finish this off finally. So yeah, you just want, ideally you probably want an iron door on there. And then just put a sign up saying crew only. And then it will be a case of filling in the ceiling. So you're going to cover that entire bit now, and then what you need to do is go back to Rich LaRusso's tutorial and finish off building the rest of the ship, like the entire ship. And then when you come back to part 4, we can just crack on with the next deck, but you do need the rest of the ship in place. Obviously there'll be no overhead shots like this anymore, but it's simple enough. It's nothing too difficult. The ship just really gets easier now as we go up, and it's already not been difficult as it is. So all that's left to do now is fill in the deck. Remember what I said about that staircase. If you decide to move the bulkhead back a little bit, don't move the staircase. That's got to stay exactly where it is. because that leads up to the boat deck. I think it's the boat deck. I don't know. I'm not a ship expert. I don't know the exact terms for these things. But basically that staircase has got to stay where it is. And don't cover it, like I've just tried doing. So yeah, obviously I'm not going to fill the whole thing in on screen, because that would just take way too long. Just make sure you can get down there. So yeah, I will just leave you to do this, and I hope to catch you in part 4. Thank you for watching.